Academic vocabulary. Scholarship. An award of financial support for a student to pursue their higher education. Example: she won a scholarship to study law at Harvard University. Admission. The act of accepting or allowing someone to enter a place or organization. Example: he submitted an application for admission to the university. Grant. An amount of money is given to be used for a particular purpose such as education research. Example: he was granted money to buy a house. Learning environment. The whole range of conditions and activities in which learning happens. Example: my school is the perfect learning environment. Study abroad. The act of going to a foreign country to study. Example: I am going to study abroad next year, but I don't know where. Gap year. A year between leaving high school and starting university that someone spends on working or traveling. Example: after finishing school, she took a gap year and traveled through the UK and Canada. Gossip. To have a casual conversation. Example: I like having a good gossip now and then. Bookworm. Someone who spends a lot of time reading. My brother is a bookworm. He is always reading. Distance learning. A system of education in which teachers and students do not meet in a classroom but use the internet or TV programs and email to have classes. Example: it is possible for pupils in rural communities to take advantage of distance learning educational programs. Enroll in. To register or enter in a list for an activity or for membership in a group. Example: there are currently over 500 students enrolled in our French language program. To play truant. To skive off, to purposefully not attend a class without permission. Example: it is bad news when youngsters begin to play truant from school. Absent. Not present in a place where you are expected to be. Example: he is often absent from school. Do an exam. Sit an exam. Take an exam. To do a test. Example: I'm taking my English exam tomorrow. To retake a course. To do a course again because you have failed it the first time. Example: students do not need special permission to retake a course. Enforcement. The act of compelling people obey a particular law or rule. Example: the enforcement of laws relating to environmental protection has always been difficult. At a slow/leisurely pace. At an unhurried, relaxed, slow speed. Example: we could walk the entire distance at a slow pace. A formal examination. A test conducted under strict, regulated conditions. Example: she had to take a formal examination before she could graduate. To drop out of college. To leave college or university before you have finished your studies. Example: he dropped out of college after his first semester because of money. Preschooler. A child not yet old enough to go to school. Example: I wanted to see how far my son's concepts went in math when he was a preschooler. Vocational school. A school which provides students with the special skills and education that they need to do a particular job. Example: the curriculum at a vocational school is more career-focused. Productive. Producing or achieving a lot of results. Example: our last meeting was very productive. Primary school. A school for children between the ages of 5 and 11. Example. I have studied English since I was in a primary school. Secondary school. A school for children who are aged from 16 to 18. Example. She taught history at a secondary school. Postgraduate school. A school that awards advanced academic degrees. Example. She is a full-time student on postgraduate school. Attentive. Paying close attention to something. Example. The speaker likes to have an attentive audience. To master a language. To learn or understand a language completely. Example. If you want to master a language, you need to learn to think in that language. Linguistic ability. The ability to master other languages. Example. The new recruit was tested to have good linguistic ability. To speak fluently. To speak easily and quickly. Example. The students were trained to speak fluently and without unnecessary hesitations. To take up a language. To start to study a language. Example. I've decided to take up a language. Transmission of knowledge. The process of passing knowledge from one person to another. Example. It's a cultural transmission of knowledge from generation to generation. Intensive. Involving a lot of work, effort, or activity done in a short period of time. Example. This is an intensive course in business writing. To pay attention to. To think about, work on, watch, or listen to someone or something carefully. Example. She's never paid that much attention to his opinions. Focus on. To put a lot of your attention on one thing. Example. She focused on her work. Background. The details of a person's family, education, career, wealth. Example. Poverty can affect anyone, regardless of age, race, gender, or social background. Progress rapidly. To grow, improve, or develop very quickly. Example. Many children who make a slow start, but then make progress rapidly. Adapt. To change something so that it is suitable for a new use or purpose or in a new situation. Example. The young adapted themselves to the change quickly. Interactive. Of two or more people or things, acting with each other. Example. The class was very interactive during the class discussion. Face-to-face learning. To study in the traditional way, with the teacher and students present in the room. Example. They preferred face-to-face learning for communication purposes. To give feedback. To give comments, how well or badly, corrections, or information about a person's performance of a task. Example. I like the way the professor gave feedbacks to his students. Interactive learning refers to a method of teaching and learning in which teachers encourage students to be part of the lesson instead of passive observers. Example. Each class has been designed to maximize interactive learning, deliberation, and reflection. Higher education. Education beyond high school, usually provided by a college or university. Example. My brother moved to the United Kingdom to continue his higher education. A vocational course. A course which provides students with the skills and education that they need to do a particular job. Example, for every 4 students who start a vocational course in upper secondary, 1 drops out. To disrupt lessons. To interrupt the lesson by causing a disturbance or problem. Example, there are many reasons why pupils disrupt lessons. Mandatory, required, compulsory. Example, it is mandatory that all students take 2 years of English. Educational, relating to education. Example, watching television can be very educational. Academic, relating to education, schools, universities, and scholarship. Example, these phrases are more suitable for academic essays. Learning atmosphere, the mood or feeling that exists in a class and affects the students who are there. Example, games offer students a fun-filled and relaxing learning atmosphere. Extracurricular activities, not falling within the scope of a regular course, work, or studies in school or college. Example, we have extracurricular activities after school. Lecturer, a person who gives lectures at a college or university. Example, the lecturer illustrated his point with a diagram on the blackboard. Academic subject, subjects relating to education, schools, universities, etc. Example, we've learned a variety of academic subjects. Do badly in an exam. If you do badly in an exam, it is because the test was too hard. Example, she is a good student. She's never done badly in an exam. Transcript, a detailed record of students' marks or grades that they have received at a school. Example, each applicant must submit his transcript with his application. Internship, a temporary job that a student or new graduate takes in order to get practical experience in the area they want to work in. Example, Jane has a summer internship at a local TV station. Extracurricular activities, activities that students do at school or college that are not part of their course. Example, generally, volunteer activities aren't always extracurricular activities. Social and cultural life, ways of life. Example, advertisements have greatly affected our social and cultural life. Tuition fees, the amount of money that you pay for your education. Example, tuition fees are free and the teaching methods and facilities are great. Grant, to allow someone to do or have what they want. Example, he was granted a patent on his invention. Dormitory, a large room where a lot of people in a school or institution sleep. Example, she was reading a math textbook in the dormitory. Reach one's full potential, to take great effort and self-discipline. Example, we will help your child reach his full potential. Bachelor's degree, a first university degree, a degree awarded by a college or university. Example, I graduated from City University with a bachelor's degree in law. Hit the books, to study very hard. Example, I have to go home and hit the books because I have a big test tomorrow. Master's degree, an advanced college or university degree, which follows after bachelor's degree. Example, I have got a master's degree in business administration. Mature student. A student at a college or university who's older than others. Example. There are many benefits to being a mature student. Public schools. A school that is supported and paid for by the government. Example. My son finished a public school a few years ago. Schoolboy error. A very simple, basic, and foolish mistake. Example. Lucy made a schoolboy error on her English test. Single-sex schools. Schools that have only one sex, for either boys or girls. Example. My sister happily attended a single-sex school for 6 years. To attend classes. To go to classes. Example. Do not waste your money on tuition if you are not even going to attend classes. To learn something by heart. To memorize something. Example. You should try to learn by heart these English words and phrases. To meet a deadline. To finish something in time, by or before it is due. Example. Do you take personal responsibility for failing to meet a deadline? To pass with flying colors. To achieve or accomplish something very successfully. Example. He is studying hard, and he will pass IELTS with flying colors. To pursue studying. To follow a course, education. Example. She wants to pursue studying after high school. To take a year out. To spend 1 year working to gain more valuable experience. Example. My son took a year out and went traveling to Japan. Concentrate. To give full your attention to something. Example. If you make so much noise, I can't concentrate on my homework. Distraction. Something that prevents you from giving full attention to something else. Example. He worked hard all morning, without distraction. Thesis. A long piece of writing that is submitted in support of candidature for an academic degree. Example. Sarah has been working on her thesis for over a year, and she still has lots of work to do. Assignment. Work that you must do as part of a job or course of study. Example. I'm feeling much more confident in doing my first college assignment. Controversy. A disagreement or argument about something. Example. His latest book has attracted a lot of controversy. Theoretical. Based on theories or ideas that relate to a subject, instead of on practical application. Example. The course is designed to be practical rather than theoretical. To be poor at something. Not to be good at something. Example. He is very poor at maths at school. Certificate. An official document shows that an educational program has been completed. Example. The language certificate has 3 levels: basic, intermediate, and advanced. Diploma. A document given by a college or university to show that you have completed an educational program, finished your studies. Example. He is a commerce graduate with a diploma in computer applications. Degree. The qualification that you get after completing a course of study at a university. Example. It took him 6 years to get his bachelor's degree in math. To resit an exam. To take an examination again. Example. The teacher forced him to resit the exam the week after. Skip classes. To miss a class or not go to a class for some reason. Example. Bullied students tend to skip classes because they feel uncomfortable at school. Memorable. Something or event that is easily remembered, usually because it is special or unusual. Example: graduation ceremony is a memorable event for all students. Specialty. A special field of study. Example: her specialty is English literature. To gain. To receive. To get. Example: an internship will help students gain experience. Schedule. A plan for doing a list of things at certain times. Example: she has been forced to adjust her schedule. Inspiring. To be exciting and make someone feel strongly interested in. Example: what he said at the meeting today was very inspiring. Rewarding. Providing someone with satisfaction, pleasure, or profit. Example: teaching young children is a challenging and rewarding job. Vocational training. Training that emphasizes skills and knowledge required for a particular job. Example: although vocational training is career-oriented, a few types of professions require a college degree. Unwind. To relax after hours of hard work. Example: meditation is a tool that can help people unwind and let go of stress. Encouraging. Giving someone confidence or hope about something. Example: he sent me an encouraging message. Strict. If you are strict, you have definite rules and expect people to obey completely. Example: her English teacher is very strict. Supportive. Giving someone support, encouragement, and advice. Example: my girlfriend was very supportive when I was ill. Keep track of. To keep an eye on something. Example: bank statements help you keep track of where your money is going. Strive. To make great efforts to achieve something. Example: we must strive to secure steady growth. Break. A short period of time for relaxation. We usually have a short break for lunch, then start to work again at 2 o'clock. Sincerity. The fact of showing your honesty of mind. Example: if you question her sincerity, do not ask for her help. To disclose. To give someone or reveal information about something. Example: I can't disclose that information yet. To recall. To remember something that happened in the past. Example: I can't recall his name at the moment. A heavy workload. A large amount of work or many tasks to perform. Example: he's struggling to cope with the heavy workload. Bullying. Using superior strength repeatedly and intentionally to frighten or hurt another person. Example: the older boy causes problems at school by bullying younger children. Competent. To be capable of doing something well. Example: she is a competent teacher. Excel. To be extremely good at something. Example: he excels in sports and in many other activities. To fall behind with your studies. To progress more slowly in studying than other people. Example: these students regularly miss classes and fall behind with their studies. To impose discipline. To make students obey the rules of a school or college. Example: the teacher misused his ability to impose discipline on his students. Attendance record. A record of how often someone has been present at an event or an institution. Example, he has a good attendance record. Tertiary education / higher education. Education for people at college or university level. Example, more than 50% of secondary school pupils going on to tertiary education. To accumulate. To gather or collect something gradually as time passes. Example, he accumulated a large fortune by hard work. Bedtime reading. A book, novel, etc. read at bedtime. Example, bedtime reading helps get children asleep. Kindergarten, preschool education. Example, he and I have been friends since kindergarten. A native speaker. Someone who has spoken a language since she was a baby and did not learn it as a foreign language. Example, speak like a native speaker by using sentence stress in English. To have a good grasp of. To have a complete, clear understanding of something. Example, after taking a year-long computer course, Peter had a good grasp of computer programming. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. See you in the next videos.